So I just got back from working with a client, and she brought up a very interesting topic, or a very interesting point. She is very successful in her craft, wildly successful. We've worked together for about a month now, and she's gone from what she thought would have taken her about a year, maybe 2 years, she's going to accomplish in probably 3 months. So she's very successful in her field, in most everything that she does, except for one area, which is in her relationships, in her love life specifically. And she didn't really ask me a question, but we just started talking about it. And her relationships are in constant turmoil. It's one relationship after another. And she seems to, in her words, attract the same douchebag. That she has a fixation for these, whatever douchebags as she says. What was interesting is that as she was describing them, she described them in the exact same way because she's attracting the same guy, and that was just the point. Everything that she said she didn't want, she was attracting. And so then when I asked her, so what do you want? She didn't know. She didn't really know. She had a basic idea of what they may look like, and most of these guys were very attractive, and it was similar to what she wanted. But when it comes to their personality, when it came to who they really are, she had no idea what she wanted, but she kept attracting what she didn't want. So it doesn't matter. It's a good example of it doesn't matter what the hell you want or don't want. The law of attraction, when people try to tell you the world conspires in your favor and this and that, yeah, technically it does, but that's not the way the law of attraction works. The law of attraction doesn't care. All right, universal energy, God, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't care. Like attracts like. It's energy. And the energy that she was putting out, the way she was living her life, and the way that her subconscious had been trained was to attract this type of guy. Now, she's a very well-to-do person. She's very successful, and she would meet people that did not conspire in her favor. And everything that she had focused on for several years, her subconscious is ingrained inside of her. And so when I asked the simple question of, okay, well, what is it that you want? She had no idea. Now, how can this be? She's so successful in her own craft, yet in another avenue, she has no idea what's going on. She was so unaware of what she had been attracting that it was this she was dazed and confused. She had no idea. And so going back on it, it's all about training the subconscious. For years, she has ingrained in herself, because of, we discovered, a very early relationship. She basically, and it was a very long-term relationship when she was in high school, that had basically was the amalgam of these guys she had been attracting. And so over and over and over, because she never was aware of it, because she only trained her subconscious because it was a long relationship at that time, and her subconscious was so impressionable that that's really all she knows now. So consider, is this happening in your life? Has this happened in your life? It's a very sad state in which we live in, that most people, even most married people, if they sat down and you had them write out, what do you actually want in a person, it doesn't match who they're with. Could be why 50% of marriages end in divorce. So I had her list out everything that she could ever want in a guy, right? And that's one of her new goals that we're going to work on, and part of that is training the subconscious to act in a certain way, to think in a certain way, just to be in a certain way. So think about it in your own life. The way to get over these awful relationships that seem to spiral, that seem to continually attract one after the other, that you may meet a guy and he seems absolutely perfect, and then a short time later it's just, what the hell? Who is? I don't even know this person, right? Or guy or girl, it doesn't matter. But know that what other coaches usually teach you, and I've seen this a lot, especially with women's empowerment coaches. Now, I'm all for women's empowerment. Hell yeah. I think it is a travesty that every woman does not view herself as a goddess. The problem is when these teachers try to teach, they're only doing it from their perspective. They're only doing it from their limited mindset, and it seems to take some of these clients so long when they work with coaches to attract the right mate, to change who they are, because they're changing the subconscious. So the first step, one, you got to find out who you want, or what you want, who you want, whatever it is, and be as selfish as possible and be as meticulous as possible. Every single thing that you could ever want in a person, all right, needs to become vitally clear to the point where you can wake up and see this person. Now, here's the trick. Here's one big trick that I've taught the clients that I've had that have problems with their relationship. Start acting as if. So you can have the perfect mate drawn out in your mind, and you can visualize, and you can do all these things, except that that's not always enough energy to let it happen, right? This is a key that people miss. Our actions are energy, because actions mean nothing. And you can see that in people that have tried to work for something for years and never gotten there. See, they put a lot of meticulous energy through action in there, but they have no visualization, they have no reciprocal, right? So it doesn't mean anything. And then you can see a lot of people that have the visuals. They have an exact goal of where they want to be, but they don't put in the work. They don't put in the action. They don't put in the energy, right? So sit down, figure out what you want, and then start acting as if. And be a little weird about it. What I mean by weird is that most people, even the people that know the law of attraction, don't act as if. They do it when it's convenient, but they don't do it all the time. Train your subconscious, act in a certain way, and watch your world change instantly. It'll happen so fast that you'll be startled. So if you are with the proper person, if you are with your perfect person, ask yourself, which side of the bed would you sleep on? Sitting in my car here, would I not clean out the other side? Right? If my perfect person is going to sit in my car, they're going to want to sit right here. And they're not going to be able to do that if it's a dirty floor. Same thing goes for my house. Start acting as if. Even to the point where you only use one outlet because you know that other person needs to charge their phone or do whatever. Clean out your closet. Move clothes around if they're going to be there. Act as if. Now, one last thing I will say is that I do notice a lot of people, I suppose it goes back to acting as if. They try to look for love outside of themselves. They hope to find someone that fulfills the void within themselves, because they cannot love themselves. And so if you do not love yourself, it is selfish, it is greedy to expect another to love you, which could be why you are in and out of relationships, or why you are constantly in a terrible relationship. Learn to love yourself. Now, this does not mean acceptance. If you don't like something about yourself, change it. I will never teach someone to accept some degradation of themselves. If you don't like something, you change it. You have that power. Ooh. It's a big ass beat. If you don't like something about yourself, you change it. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the loop of terrible relationships. So, if you want to create your perfect mate, visualize it. All right, you have to be so clear about what you want. Otherwise, it's going to be this gray area. And you might get something, but you might not like it. And then you have to act as if and be a little crazy with it. Be a little different. It's only crazy because society doesn't do it, and that's why I don't know of really anyone that's actually married that is actually happy, besides myself. Third thing, learn to love yourself. All right? If you don't like something about yourself, change it. That's it. Without those reciprocals, it's going to be a loop. You may feel better about yourself for a time, which is what a lot of gurus try to do. They also try to keep clients. It's what I do is a poor form of keeping clients, because I don't want to keep clients. right? So if I keep a client for, everyone's a little different. It might take some people longer, but I give you everything that I have immediately. For instance, the woman that I'm working with now, that's why everything has changed so fast, and why I know that her relationships are going to change instantly. But it comes from within. See, now you have every tool to do it. It's that usually you don't have the awareness to do it, or the persistence to do it. Act as if. Begin immediately to act as if. Watch your world change. That's the truth.